going on, everybody? DjGoHam here. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to, well, Ravenboard here on Farming Simulator 19. Today, I'm going to show you the essentials of starting a new map on Farming Simulator 19. We're going to be doing the general how to make it work on console, using government subsidy signs to help you out at first, and how to get rid of all that extra money. This is going to be a crops episode, so no animals, nothing like that's going to be used here. We're going to be using Ravenport as a baseline, because there are normal fields and no animals. In the animal video will be coming out tomorrow. We're going to be using New Farmer because it's the easiest and can be done in Farm Manager or start from scratch as well if you would like. And seasons will be turned off. All mods that you see in today's video are available on all platforms, and they are out at the time of recording, and all that will be considered. Let's check it out. So let's start up our game. Main menu, we're going to go into career, and we want to start a brand new game because it's going to be a brand new save game. Again, as mentioned before, we're going to be using New Farmer because it is the easiest. We're also going to be using Ravenport, so we'll go there. We've got our guy selected. Let's do that. Because of how many mods we've got installed, it may take a hot minute right here going from the career or character creation into the mod section itself. I don't have seasons installed, so I'm ready to go. I want to use every single mod that I've got available to me right now. Again, today we're going to be looking at 3 tractors, 1 combine, and 1 other. I don't like starting off with more than 5 vehicles. I think that maybe it's a little bit too easy. You have nothing to work for. Work should be kind of difficult whenever you're starting off. You shouldn't be able to just plow up anything that you want. You shouldn't be able to just do whatever. You need something to work for. So we're in. First things first, before you do anything, you need to go into your pause menu, and we need to change some settings. Now, you can change these to whatever you want. I'm going to show you the ones that I use. You can let me know what you use down in the comment section below. Timescale, we're going to go to real-time. Economic difficulty, depending on how difficult you want to make it for yourself. I always like easy. I think easy is the easiest, so we're going to use that. Traffic, at least off while we're getting started. I'm a big fan of dirt, so let's turn that fast. Automatic engine start off. I do, however, like to use my own stuff here. So I'm going to go through helper buy everything off. Fuel usage default, we want to make that as high as possible, just because you feel like you're doing something. Plant withering off, crop destruction on, periodic plowing off. You could turn that on if you would like. We're going to have to get a plow regardless, so turn that on or off depending on however you want. Lime required, you could turn that on or off as well. You know what? Let's just turn plowing, lime, and weeds on. That's going to make everything a little bit easier for us while we're doing stuff. And then, of course, you have all your general settings, which save. So, save the game. Now, we need to go in, and we need to get rid of everything. Anything that you don't want to use or anything that you don't want being around, get rid of. If there's something that you like, maybe you're like, yo, I dig that cultivator. Keep it. If there's a tractor you like, don't get rid of it. I don't like any of this. So, so we're going to delete every single thing. I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to be like, oh, I want this, I want that. Nope. Every little thing we are going to be deleting. Nothing's going to be left. Except for the buildings and stuff, because, well, those are just there, and you're not going to be deleting buildings anyway when you start a map. Now that we've done that, there's 2 ways to do the next part. What you could do is you could start buying the equipment that you want, and then when you run out of money, start bringing in money. Or, you could go in, and you could take out a loan, and you could do it that way. And then once you run out of your loan, you can cheat money in from there. You could cheat less money in that way when it's all said and done. However, you will have to be cheating stuff in eventually. We're not going to mess with what's in the silo because anything that I don't do, I'm not going to take from the silo straight away. I'm going to wait till I get a crop like that and then use that to cushion the price. So for us, I would say it is much easier to go in and just cheat money in. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to find the government subsidy sign. We're going to place a couple of those down. Here it is in miscellaneous and in replaceables and miscellaneous rather. In easy mode, we're going to get $150,000 per hour. Well, I want to cheat in maybe about $1.5 million. So we're going to go ahead and place down 10 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, counting with DJ. Now all we have to do is fast forward time until we get to the next hour. So we're going to go over. We're going to go into real time, times 120, and sit and wait. And our money is in. There we go. Drop down from real time. We're going to leave those there for right now, just in case it's not enough money. However, we've got $1.9 million. I think that's going to be plenty of money to start with. So let's bump over to the store so we could see everything once we're buying it. Here's our shop, and we are going to visit. Here we go. Starting off with tractors. I always like to start with the tractors because that lets you know kind of your implement situation, or you can go the other way around. It really doesn't matter. When one's easier for some people, the other one's easier for other people. I like buying tractors first, so let's jump in. I want to get 3. I want a small one with a front loader, narrow tires, less than 150 horsepower. That way it is limited on what it can do. It can't just go out and do anything. I also want one small to medium tractor, maybe with a front loader, maybe normal tires, maybe you could do narrow tires on it as well, and to have 175 horsepower plus, maybe some options to upgrade later on down the road. And finally, one medium tractor with wide tires, maybe you got normal tires, whatever personal preference there, and 250 to 300 horsepower. Anything right around 300 horsepower, you're going to be able to do a lot of things that you couldn't do normally. Now, with 250 horsepower, you can be limited, so just keep that in mind. Also want to get one combine and one other. So let's start off. Tractors, we're going to go into small tractors. Some tractors that I would recommend base game would definitely be the Fent Favorite 500. This tractor right here. This has everything that we're looking for, so we can go in, we can stick narrow tires on it. We've got an engine with 150 horsepower or less, whatever you want. Make it easy or hard on yourself. We could do front loader, yes or no. So this ticks all the boxes. Every single box, this will tick it. So you can use that if you would like. There's another one I really like, the Valtra N Series. This is the tractor that I use for all testing purposes when we're doing mods. Main color and rim color can be changed to your liking as well. Wheel brands, we have Trelleborg, and we can drop those down to narrow tires. Not only that, but engine setup. We start with a 145 horsepower base engine, and we can bump that all the way up to 200 horsepower if you like. This can actually do the job of your small and your small to mid-sized tractor. Because of that, I don't use it for this. However, I'll tell you this, the Vestrum series that just came out, this is almost perfect because we've got everything that we need. Because we're on an American map, we can use an American tractor. I think it looks great. Plus, you've got 3-point or anything else in the front. So I'm going to use this. I think this is great. Let's see, 130 horsepower. That's way more than we need. And we could stick a front loader on it. So there you go. That, I think, is perfect right there. That is going to be our small tractor. Once we bought the small tractor, we need to go in and we need to get a front loader for it. Your base game Stole with the Onyx is going to fit it perfectly. Now, here's where you say, do we get a pallet fork? Do we get a bale spike? Do we get a bucket? What do we get? I tell you, wait. Simply wait and see what do you need. Pallet fork is definitely going to be one of the easiest things to start with, but a bucket will help you as well. Either one, I highly recommend. But I don't recommend the in-game ones. I recommend if you have the pallet stuff, so the ones where everything was strapped down, that is what I recommend, and that's what we're going to get today. We're going to go for the universal bucket. We're going to go for the Onyx color, and we just want the standard bucket right here. Not even going to do Stole on the side. Purchase, and we want to go over here to pallet fork. The reason we're getting a pallet fork is because the pallet fork can do bales and pallets all at the same time. So we've got that. That's good. Let's get all this kind of bunched up here together. Next is your small to medium sized tractor. Now, these will generally be found in medium tractors. These are going to be tractors with around 175 horsepower plus. So some of these have it, some don't. For example, the T6 can only, 175. It actually hits that number right on the head. For some reason, I was thinking it only hit 165. Doesn't even have a 165 option in there. So something like this, like the Case Maxim, if you wanted to go with a full case farm, which we may end up doing, those are both great. The thing about the 7200, I like this and it's awesome. However, the speed is a little bit slow for me for an all-around multi-purpose tractor, which is exactly what this is going to be used for. Probably going to be using this tractor for pretty much everything. Even with a big engine in it, 261, it's just not is fast enough. For example, 24 miles per hour. Our T6 31, the Maxim 31, even the Steyr goes 31. Also, the John Deere does not go fast at all either. What I would recommend in here is something around this size. Then that may be also your big tractor as well. So I'm liking the cloth stuff there, the case stuff that we're doing right now. I'm doing too much stuff with cloth. So let's go in here. We've got the Maxim series. This one may be a front loader. This will have a front loader. So Will brand trailer board. Let's see, that's perfectly fine with me. Actually, I'm going to stick a weight on the back of that. No agri bumper. We are on PC. That's not available on console, rather. Engine setup. I say we max this thing out. 175 horsepower. We get as much stuff done as we want. Plus, a front loader on here doesn't hurt. So now we have two things with front loaders on them. And actually, both of them can run the smaller front loader setup. So purchase. And we can use the bucket on there. So now we have the Vestrum. We've got the Maxim. And let's go ahead and take this. Let's go ahead and take the bucket, put it on there. And that's going to be really good. Perfect. Now we need to go into our medium tractor. Sometimes your medium tractor that you want may be found in large tractors. Keep that in mind. So first we're going to look at our Puma, because since we're going with case, I'm like, well, let's take a look at it. Obviously, we have way more horsepower starting off standard. I do want wides. I will say no weights on these. The big engine on here, 270 horsepower. I say if you get a medium tractor, your large tractor for your farm needs to be between 250 and 300 horsepower. 270 is going to be right on the edge, but I think it's going to be perfect for us. Also, this one does have the option to have a front loader. Some tractors in this size don't have a front loader. For example, the Claas Arian, or the Axion right here rather, this is in that area. See, 295 horsepower, but no front loader option. So keep that in mind. However, this guy right here, if you wanted to come over, this only does 200 horsepower, but you can put a front loader on it. I like those stuff. I think they're great. But if we're going to be doing something, I say get you something just like this. This is great. This is really, really good tractor. Again, all the way up, bump those engine numbers up, and we're not going to print a front loader just because I don't think we need one. So we've got that. And there are our three tractors for this map. It's actually three tractors on this map. It's a little bit much, to be honest. But this is great. That's good. Next up, we need to focus on a combine. Now, unfortunately, Case really doesn't have a combine. Even modded stuff that's in the game right now, Case really doesn't have any showings in the mid-range. And so for something mid-range, I'm going to be talking like the Massey Ferguson. We've also got a Fent that matches that. So pretty much anything above these guys. These are all small. So I'm looking at the Massey Activa. I'm looking at the John Deere T560. The Raw Smash right here, even though its settings kind of show it to be small, is a very large combine. So getting it around, and especially having something to work for at the end of it when it's all said and done, that may be a little bit tough for you. So I still say, as the game's been out for, going on a month or year and 3 or 4 months now, I still say the John Deere T560, one of the best starting off. It's just one of the best starting off things, period. You could set it up however you like. I do like wide tires on here, so we are going to go with a wide tire option because I think it looks great. Now we need a header for this. We're not going to be doing anything wild and crazy with headers. We just need one. That's it. No corn header. You need something to work for, or else the game's just boring. We did have some headers that just came out that I said whenever they released, if you don't use them, well, I don't know what you're doing. So we're going to get one. Draper Stream 900 right here. The modded version, or non-modded version rather. Main color, we're going to go in, we're going to make this look like a John Deere. To make it look like a John Deere, I'm going to look at the John Deere that we've got in game and say, okay, that is green. That is very, very green. So I'm going to make this exactly the same. Green all around. Boom, boom. The reason that I'm using this one and not the version that's there with it, simply because this has a header built into it. The other one does not, and I don't feel like waiting around for that. Decal, let's go through. Let's find ourselves a John Deere. There we go. And now we have our combine. We've got a header that is larger than the header that would have come with it. Plus, it has its own draper head, so we can pull it around. It's got everything, or its own draper head. That's going to be your belt system. But it's got its own cart built into it, so we can bring it around however we want. That's not a bad setup right there. That is a really, really good setup. Now, For your fifth vehicle, you can choose what you want to go with here. I would prefer, with the setup similar to this, to go with some type of truck. Whether it be the Warrior, which I think would be an amazing starting truck for this setup. Maybe you want to go with like a D754 and put some stuff on the back of it. You could easily do that. Even the Warrior Plus Plus, depending on how you want to use it, that may be what you want to do. So later on, you've got options for customization. You can do logging, stuff like that. Take it into a shop and completely change it. There's other things that you could do as well. Maybe you want a truck. Maybe you want something smaller. You can go into cars, get yourself a pickup, get yourself this guy right here, the dually. You could do that if you want. If you plan on taking stuff around, get the dually. I think that's perfectly fine. But for me, going around looking, and I say, okay, what is going to be the most useful when it's all said and done? What is going to be the most useful to me? And that is going to be a semi-truck, because you're going to be taking crop from point A to point B. So I'm going to go in here. Black's good. That works for me. We're going to buy one of those, and we need a trailer for it, a semi-trailer. There are two ways you can go with this. Everything in-game right now is the auger stuff is American, so the Pace Setter and Load King Distinction, which I highly recommend the Distinction with this truck. However, if you want to go with the Crampy, you can, but I wouldn't go with the Crampy to start with. If you're going to, go with the KS950. The KS950, you've got somewhere to grow. But since we're not doing animals, we don't need forage stuff to be able to be in there. So we're going to go with the Load King Distinction. It's the next highest one. Main color, since we got a black truck, let's go black. Rim color, chrome, that's cool with me. And design color is totally fine with me as well. Now, we've got a great truck and trailer setup. That is your vehicle setup. This, I think, is the perfect vehicle setup. You've got a very small, you've got a medium, and you've got a large-ish, more medium-sized engine setup. You've got a lot of room to grow. There are tractors way bigger than these. There's actually three case tractors larger than this that are base game. There's definitely bigger combines than this. The header is a modded one, and then you've got room to grow with trucks. You can upgrade your truck, you can upgrade your trailer. You've got an upgrade path. You don't start with the best thing right away. That's a huge thing when starting off new maps and stuff, because you get stuck. You're like, well, this is boring, because you're not working towards anything. This is going to get you there. Next, we're going to work on our tools. Not going to lie, tool setups are going to be very, very basic. The first one we want is some type of tipper. Now with this setup, because we have a larger trailer, I don't think you need a massive tipper trailer. So something like this, I think is amazing, because you can hook multiple of these together. Holds 21,000 liters. I say go anywhere between 20,000 and 30,000. So something like the Farm Tech right here might be okay, but your medium tractor that you've got is going to pull that just fine. As a matter of fact, your tractor is going to pull this pretty okay as well. It's really not going to pull it around the map, but that's not what it's for. It's for pulling it around the main farm. I say this right here is perfect. Don't even try to buy anything extra. Just get the tipper and be done with it. Next, we need a Bale trailer. So something, Bale trailer, pallets, bales, something that can be pulled by the medium tractor easily. Now for this, we can go over here to baling technology, and you could choose. I think the Flegel DPW is a little bit large for starting off. I think a lot of this stuff is actually pretty much it's a little bit big for starting off. What would I recommend? Well, I actually recommend going over here to the Flegel trailers that we've got. There's 3 of these trailers total. They are auto-load trailers, but I think that's a good thing. And I think starting with the smallest one is a good way to go as well. You may want to do baling. I don't consider starting, or I don't see why you would want to start with doing baling. You don't need straw. If you need to bale straw, well, start with round bales, because round bales stink. So get you something that auto-loads round bales. You could configure this however you want. Your medium tractor, even maybe your small tractor, can pull this around. We're not going to do any configuration. I think it looks fine the way it is. So we're going to buy that. There's our Bale trailer. We can move this around. Plus, you just do normal stuff on here, and it's perfectly fine. I like that. I really like that trailer. Next up, we need a plow or subsoiler. So if we go over and we take a look, if we go into plows, I think there's only one plow that you need to be using. And if you're using anything else, I'm not sure what you're doing. It is the Lizard Subsoiler 6M, the same plow that I recommended in FS17, I recommend in FS19. There's nothing else that you need to be using. Use that. However, if you wanted to go into subsoilers, there's a couple options. However, mostly you're going to be looking at high horsepower requirements, especially for the Don D800 series. So I say definitely go up, get yourself the Lizard 6M plow. This is perfect. It's going to do everything you need to do. I'm not even going to customize it. We're just going to buy it, and there you go. Once we've got that, we need to get a seeder. Now, your seeder is going to be used with your largest tractor. I know our largest tractor has 275 horsepower, so we need something that's going to match that. I also need this to be a direct drill. First one that comes to mind is the Vaderstad Rapid A600S. That is perfect. It's going to do everything that you need to do. It's going to be just fine. You can also upgrade to the Horse Pronto 9DC. I consider both of these the only two that you should look at when looking into something like this to start with. Having a direct drill is just, it's awesome. Plus, if you go with something a little bit bigger, you don't get direct drill options, or it requires tons and tons of horsepower. You could also go with the Amazon Condor, but I think that's a little bit too much starting off. Now, if we do go through, we do have some other things as well, but most all of it is modded stuff or something crazy that I've put together, or it's just too small to even think about using. There is one setup that is kind of cool. You have the tramline stuff right here, so you can use something like this. This is kind of cool. It requires 210 horsepower, is 8 meters, and will do, I believe, seed and fertilizer, yes, and it direct drills. So that's kind of neat. But honestly, for this map, get this one. Vaderstad Rapid A600S. It's going to get the job done, or the Horse Pronto if you want to do fertilizer. 270 horsepower. Your big tractor can do it. So let's, boom. Do we own it? We own it. There's that. Now, the only things left are the fertilizers and the balers. Balers, very easy. Baling technology, the first one. New Holland Roll Belt 150. If you want to go check out some other stuff, there are some other round bale options available. For example, I believe it was the Duval's Door, no, the Galignani. This guy right here, $15,000 for a round baler, and it's a normal round baler. It's nothing crazy. Get your trailer board right here. I dig that. I think this is the best one. You have to get it. It's a mod. It's for all platforms. So it would be stupid not to get it. So we got it. And then your fertilizer spreaders. With your fertilizer spreaders, there is only one really that I recommend here that I think would work. Now, you can either go with the Amazon right here. This is pretty good, 8,200 liters, and it will do lime as well, which is great. And you can change up narrow tires, all that kind of stuff. And your medium tractor should be able to pull this without an issue. Or if you're like me and you think, well, I just want something that I can pull around and be good with it, you want to go with the Kuhn Axis 402 Plus Pack. So right here, stick your extension on, and then stick a working width 24 meters. There you go, $20,000 for that, and you're good. The only thing is it doesn't hold a lot of lime, so you may be running a worker with lime to start with. That's okay. I dig this one. That's my favorite. Now, I don't recommend getting a sprayer unless you are using weeds, which we do have weeds turned on. So let's go into crop protection and see what would we get. And here, again, there's two I would recommend, but I would just start off with the Kuhn Deltas. As a matter of fact, there is a modded version of this by Holga Sandstock. It's this one right here, I believe. And we can change up the color on it as well. It's just great that you can change the color and do some really cool stuff. Plus, we get a front tank with it. I mean, it's invaluable. So I would go with something like this. Capacity is going to be standard, so you can unload this into something. You can unload this onto pallets. When you're starting off, you're going to be unloading into pallets. So just get that. Holga Sandstock mod, that's the one to start with. That's going to be perfect on any of these tractors, especially this one because we have narrows on it. The great thing is I think you can even put narrows on that. the Magnum? Optum? Maximum? Puma? Yep, that one. Totally forgot what it was called. And that's it. That is everything that I would recommend. It's a lot of equipment, but you're going to get the job done that you want to do. If you don't need to do animals, if your animals are a long way off in the distance, then it's fine. But this is great to start with. This is going to get done perfectly what you want to do. You've got a baler, you've got a bale wagon, you can, everybody starts with wheat. so you can make some round bales, you can make your money back, and be done with it. That baler's going to pay for itself after 2 harvests on any field on this map. This is it. This is what I would go with. Now, lastly, we've got a little bit of an issue of the fact that we have $652,000 left sitting there. So first things to do is to come in here, find all of our government subsidy signs, and delete them all, because there's no point to keep these in, especially the fact if you're actually trying to like make money off of what you're doing. So I think that the setup gives you the option to, did we get them all? Nope, we just passed by a bunch of them. Let's get rid of that, and last one. Good. So we've got rid of those, but we still have $652,000 left waiting to get rid of. So we need to get rid of that in chunks. To get rid of that in chunks, we need to start getting some stuff. So let's lease some equipment and return it. Some of the biggest stuff in the game for leasing wise, this right here, $24,000 to lease that. You could also purchase it and sell it. That's going to take you a little while. We can also go in here and take a look at this, the John Deere CP690, $43,000 to lease that if you really want to. So just go through, find stuff that is just stupid expensive that you can get rid of money quickly. Also, another thing was said, you can go down through here, $25,000 per pop. So if you wanted to lease a bunch of those, you know, 25, 50, 75, on and on and on. But we're going to do this one. So let's lease, and we want to get that money all the way down to about 100 grand. So we're just going to lease. Where is it putting these? I'm almost worried. Oh, wow! This is another thing. It's kind of funny. They're just everywhere. So we go into our lease. We start returning them one by one. And then I think we'll be able to do this one more time, and then we may have to add a few other things in as well. This is something I know Mr. Silly P's shown this off quite a few times. Let's say quite a few times. At least once or twice. Let's go back in. Let's lease that one more time. Now we have $33,000 to get rid of. Leasing price for this is $24,000. Not bad. Now we've got a listing price of $9,000. So I'm going to go into tractors, $3,000, $6,000, $9,000. $100,224. That's perfect, at least for us. You want to have that $100,000 to start with, so you've got money to buy whatever you want. If you don't want that money, delete it all. Doesn't matter. You don't need it. Start with something, though. Now you've got everything that you need to put seed and fertilizer on there. You can put seed and fertilizer in a bag if you want and throw it in there. You could put it in your seeder and take it down with you. A lot of people don't even think about that. Fill up your implements before you take them to the farm. Always, because it's so much easier that way. Otherwise, with this setup, you're ready to go. Well, guys, that is going to be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like on the video, get subscribed to the channel, join the GoHamFam, and turn your notification bells on so that you never miss a video here on the channel. These are my top picks right here for starting a new farm in new farmer mode with no animals, doing crops only. If you've got a better one or a better idea, let me know down in the comment section below. Obviously, with this kind of setup, you really don't need 3 tractors, but I prefer to be using 3 tractors at all times. In case one's doing something, well, I could just go do something else. Always keeps you busy. But that being said, I hope you have a great day. We will see you later. Oh yeah, part 2 on this tomorrow. Forage and grass and animals and stuff. Yeah. Peace!